Just say I can't tell of now. Say Afe Babalola no be God. Show you here. SAN, DTO, DPO, GHO, ETC, GOD not join the qualification. Not be God. Don't advise me here pain join my problem. Because now he don't they pay me. Afe Babalola not be God. Because why else? If not be fear they do now. So why else advice for everywhere like this? Why? What's up with the advice? Hey, be careful. Hey, it's a battle for the high and mighty. Hey, no, don't post you. They have seen you. They will see you. The devil will see you. Oh, God will help me see you. Don't have their Chris. And this mumu fear make us they where we there as a country. You come for protest, they are scared to come outside. Not go even post. You see them in the comment section. Make I no go comment now. Don't go praise you. They mad. It's just caution. It's just caution. No, you are just a coward. I say make I not dey shout again. I just come tell of una with the DM. Carry your mumu fear advice shift. Don't bring it close to me. If anything happen to you, the word we move on. Are they supposed to wait? They send me message. Not be the one I want do. I they do. A lawyer will write petition against another lawyer. And then mobilize police to go and bring the lawyer from Lagos to Ekiti, probably to his choice court. And within 24 hours, his colleague is being sent to prison. His colleague is the person that has been speaking for poor masses from time immemorial. And you say the poor masses should keep quiet and allow their voice go away. Allow their amplifier, their microphone to go away, to be used as a scapegoat. We are poor, we are not cowards. We will talk. They might have succeeded in taking food from our mouths. They did not take our voice. I'm tired of seeing Nigerians wake up because this will not be sleep again, be like jazz. You want to come outside for protest, come outside. You don't want to come outside, stay inside. Lock your door, but pray make POP no fall for your head. Make gas no explode for your kitchen. I know they wish you bad, I just they pray for you. And lastly, don't discourage those that want to come outside, either through your senseless comments or foolish posts. If this country good, it good for everybody. Now who you be, not be Chris.
In my book, Nigeria and its criminal justice system, and what he has done is exactly what he has always done in hiding, but he has done it this time again. And the calculations were that I would have been picked up, taken before this judge who must have either been compromised or misled in Ekiti, and I would have been remanded in prison custody for being somebody who was meant to face trial and who had refused to bring himself to court. I am reliably informed that social media influencers had been paid to spin these narratives after my arrest. Human rights activists have been positioned to start speaking after my arrest, including one Adaya.
When you are revolutionary and you talk the truth, people will come and slap you down. Then you talk the truth again, they lock you in jail. Then when you are very strong and you talk again, they may kill you. They may even burn your house down, like they burnt my house down at home. Now, when they burn my house finish, some friends who are very Africans know they are very afraid of life. Hey fella, yourself, don't talk truth again. You see, they come and tell you not to say the truth again. Then I tell them and say, them never hear anything at all. Then go hear pansa pansa. Pansa pansa means they will hear more and more and more until they can hear no more, because the truth can never die.
This book is 11 years in the making. It's been a very painful book to write. All I have done is that I have given a truthful account of what I have seen within the judicial system. And it has taken the loss of the judiciary for Nigeria to become the useless place it has more or less become now. You must be found on the rule of law. It would mean that both the governed and the governors are equally bound by the law. It must mean that the judiciary is one that deals with people blindfolded. But in a situation where instead of us being ruled by law, even at the most elementary level, we're governed by the will of men, no matter how perfect those men might be, they remain men. And it simply means that for as long as we are ruled by the will of men, we're subject to their whims and caprices. The level of corruption that I witnessed in this case, the brazenness of it, It's not suggestive of somebody who is coming to the rodeo for the first time. This is a well-practiced person. This is the norm for these persons. No matter how corrupt a judicial system might be, there are certain precepts and norms. It's like I want to count 1 to 3, and then I'm looking to skip 2. So I just say 1, 3. Where is the 2? So there should be some order, some processes by which you arrive at a particular decision. That is why the court have rules. But when you see the highest judicial body in the country flouting its own rules and acting in a manner that is suggestive of impunity, then you know that something is very abnormal in that situation. When people become so powerful that they don't even care or believe that they are subject to any law, the law does not apply to them. The brazen impunity by which they did what they did made it impossible for maybe somebody else might have been able to find peace and walk away and be telling the story when they sit amongst their friends and they are sharing beer and cognac. But I'm not interested in beer parlor talk.
The court in Ekiti, we understand, had issued a bench warrant on Mr. Dele Farotimi that he should be brought before the court in Ekiti. Lawyers will have said, oh, maybe Dele Farotimi should have gone to court to stop that bench warrant. And there are those who have said, okay, in Lagos, the criminal law of Lagos State of 2011 had omitted the criminalization of defamation in Lagos, and those who have stood to debate the fact that under the Lagos laws in Lagos, as a matter of jurisdiction, you cannot criminalize defamation. But under our criminal code, there is still an establishment of the criminal perspective to criminal code. Give us an understanding, because now, if you look at the case of Dokubo Asari versus the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Federal High Court had established that defamation or criminalizing defamation is unconstitutional. In that perspective, within that realm, well, we understand Mr. Afe Babalola has gone to the police to seek redress and seek protection of the law of whatever Mr. Dele Farotimi had written or said. What do you think exactly is going on here? Those who have argued, how would a police, according to them, abducted Dele Farotimi and took him to Ekiti? What is wrong in the action of the police in that perspective? And perhaps what is also wrong in what Afe Babalola has done or the police has done? Is there anything that you have found out in that respect?
We will have to be circumspect here, even while we are discussing this matter in the public interest, so that I can do justice to the invitation extended to me to share my thoughts with Nigerians on this subject today. And the reason why we have to be circumspect is that parties are in court now in criminal litigation. And so we shouldn't be saying things that can prejudice the rights or interests of the parties. But being a matter that is a matter of public interest, we can discuss this matter without being judgmental on the validity of the charges or the steps that have been taken and all that. Now, so I will be very nuanced in this segment of this interview. A number of things. You cited the case of Asari Dokubo and some other cases. As a matter of fact, before now in the case of Otonwako and the state, the law of sedition also provided for in the criminal code was pronounced dead. You know, you could have such case law pronouncements and all that. That will not make those provisions dead, particularly when those provisions were not specifically pronounced dead by a court action targeting those provisions in the case of judicial review. For example, when a law is passed, just like the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, and provisions of that law come up for interpretation in court, and a specific case is made to nullify those provisions or, declare that those provisions are null and void and unconstitutional, such pronouncement can be made and they will be binding. But I'm not aware that these have been done in respect of these provisions in the criminal code. So they are still alive and they can only be deleted via an invitation by perhaps the Law Reform Commission and all that would then invite the legislature to nullify these provisions or amend them out of the legislation, the criminal code. The second point is about Mr. Dele Farotimi that has been arrested in Lagos. Yes, in the case of Avomo and that has been cited, when this matter came up. Yes, Honorable Justice Ogunwumiju, in his judgment in that case, had declared that the law of criminal defamation is dead in Lagos State and Edo State. And that's so because in Lagos State and Edo State, we've had a revision or reform of their pre-existing criminal code. In 2011, there were some reforms in Lagos. I think that Professor Ayo Ashenuwa, former Dean of Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, headed a committee to help reform that law. And I think that the result was that criminal defamation was deleted from that law. So from 2011, that law has reenacted. Criminal defamation is dead. But we're not told that it's dead in Okiti State, for example. We're not told that it's dead in Ogun State. We're not told that it's dead in Ondo State and some other states. Until those laws or those provisions are removed from their respective criminal code, they will still be resorted to, they will still be used and all that. That's the number 2 point. And in this case, the allegation of publication and circulation and defamation was located within the Ekiti State, where the complainant resides, that they bought this publication and he had been defamed in Ekiti State. So to that extent, you could say that that court in Ekiti State could have jurisdiction. But as I said, the matter is before the court. The number 4 point, if my numbering is correct, is the issue of effecting arrest in Lagos and taking a person in a state. This has been a sore point. A number of journalists in the past were arrested either in Abuja, Lagos, elsewhere, and taken to in the River State case of the lady who was imprisoned for some time, the behest of an ecclesiastical giant or spiritual giant, so to speak, Lord spiritual, Lord temporal. That's I'm playing on words right now. So it's also cited as a reference because the person was not arrested in River State but taken to jurisdiction and successfully jailed. So we've been having this kind of thing, and it may rankle. But there's a notorious case in criminal law which is called the case of Patrick Nijomvens at the state. Talks about conspiracy and criminal elements or aspects of any alleged criminal offense taking place in a number of states, like straddling. If you conspire in Lagos and then you effect the conspiracy in Abuja, or you went to Ogun State to procure arms and went to the state after Ogun State or your state to also do something, any of these states will have jurisdiction to tackle the matter. All these can be, and certainly will be debated in court. But the point to note is that the matter is not as simple or as, unimportant as some people are trying to make it. Certainly, there are serious issues here. There are serious issues here. I've I've read Chief Babalola letter and the allegation. I have a copy of Dele Farotimi's book, and I've not fully read it. I've read aspect of it. And they were weighty allegations. I used to think that lawyers are trained to be circumspect. We have trained tongues. That's why we're advocates. If you don't have proofs, don't make such allegations. Don't. And so at the end of the day, you will not be able to dictate to the victim which course of action to take. And in this case, just briefly, what all these things are about, there were litigations. Dele Farotimi was involved in an aspect of that litigation. The litigation at the apex level was taken by Afe Babalola firm for one of the parties, and I'm not sure Afe Babalola physically will be going to court. He's old. The lawyer in his chambers, our friend Oludaramola, senior advocate of Nigeria, was mentioned. So all sorts of persons were mentioned, judges and all that. The Supreme Court was particularly pilloried and condemned with very heavy words. So that's today, so that will be clear. Will be clear to those who are dancing out there. Will be clear. Multiple charges can be sustained against the person, and I'm not urging that this be done, because I'm a person who like this escalating these kind of things. For example, when you took the Supreme Court justices to the cleaners, call them names and say that they are corrupt, and you are specific and categorical. The Attorney General of the Federation, who incidentally is Chief Babalola's protégé, who became a son in his chambers, could just reach for the law of criminal contempt of the Supreme Court and charge you, independent of anything that you are saying. You better have your facts. And then it's traveled to Lagos State Judiciary, the corrupt and all that. Incidentally, the Attorney General of Lagos State, Pedro, son, who is also mentioned there, can also sustain an independent charge like that. So they are, you see, there's a saying in Yoruba land that says that Editi o Mobalon for Banshere. I think that proverb is in the feudal world, when an Oba will say that they should go and sever the heads of somebody for not even liking the person. Law is very important. And lawyers are the ones who understand the law better. You can forgive people in the social media who say all sorts of things. Ignorance is bliss. But if you are a party to a case, you lost a case in the court of first instance, appeal is a remedy. You just can't come out and say that, yes, do you know how many cases I've won and how many cases I've lost? Do you know how many times I've won cases in the High Court, in the Court of Appeal, and we got to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will say, oh, jurisdiction, and all that. I wouldn't go out to say that, yes, they are corrupt, you won't say that. And I'm not saying that if you have your facts in the public interest, you shouldn't say that. So, as I said, truth, justification, public interest, altogether is a defense. So if you are saying the truth, you can go ahead and publish whatever you want to publish. But certainly you won't say that the person who is at the receiving end won't have recourse, either to criminal defamation. So,
Mr. Ogunye, this is, so you're saying that, yes, there is a right of every citizen to a freedom of expression, but there are limitations also to the extent of what you can say, or what you can, how much you can bear your mind if you don't have facts to what you are saying. But to conclude this conversation, Mr. Ogunye,
yes,
there are protests that are being that have come in the occasion of this issue in court, and there are mobilizing people in Ekiti, in Lagos, in London, and in Abuja for protest. This has gotten some kind of public interest. How do you think this can be handled?
let those who want to organize protests go ahead and organize their protest. It's their right to protest. So, look, I'm a student of the protest movement. I'm no longer a student. All my life, university, I organized protests, big ones. So, during the military struggle, we were also there. Our rights were constrained. Our movement was constrained. A lot happened. Many people were detained. People died. So we understand what that is. And for activists, quote unquote now, who say that there's a lot of things that people say. It is unlawful to be law-abiding in the state of lawlessness. People say all sorts of things. We were saying all those things then. And so people who have challenges of brushes with the law may think that what is best for them to get out of those challenges is to politicize the matter, and all that, and put pressure on state institutions and structures. That's within their right to do, because they may think that their matter is a political matter, as we've been told, and so they can take those steps. But those steps alone will not deal with the... After all, in a climb, such steps can also work. For example, some children that were tried recently, so the federal government dropped the matter like a hot potato. So if you have such references, there may be people who may think that, this kind of thing is also part of it. An injury to one is an injury to all. After all, he's an activist, and he supports what we are saying, and he condemns people too. So we should all rally around. The people may want to do that, and so they may stage a protest. But the point I'm making is that yes, the point as I'm trying to close, subject to what you may say, is that in the field of public intellection, because we talk to a lot of people, or activism, or radical advocacy, or fighting for people's rights and all that, truth is very important for us to maintain. Don't injure anybody without cause, without reason, if you must injure people. And when you're talking or you are writing, always be circumspect. I come on television every time. You know that I have very pungent views. I'm a passionate debater, but I chew my words. I recline back. I'm a slow talker because I don't want to mistalk. And I know that you're talking to a lot of people by the advance in technology. Right now, I'm talking to the world. I'm not just talking to you, Sheil. So what we say matters. It has consequences. I can see a lot of people, they derive validation from this because they are also reckless themselves. I mean, look at what is going on in the social media in Nigeria. Just look at it. So that even the best advocates of right to freedom of expression will hesitate and wonder whether this thing that is going on, is it? I mean, people make statements and say that the judiciary is gone, there is no justice there. So a social media influencer is your recourse if you want to get justice. So if you scrap the judiciary, what do you think will happen in our society? So is that what's going to happen?
We need to close quickly. And there are those who would think that the fresh charges filed against Dele Farotimi are just maybe tactics to prolong his days behind the bars, as is being kept until his bail hearing is being taken in the court. And also there are those who think that whatever happened from taking him from Lagos to Ekiti State or putting him behind bar is just using a more privileged power to oppress Dele Farotimi. Is that what it looks like? Or is that what the case is?
There are people like us who in any conflict have the natural instinct or ideological instinct or political instinct to side with the underdog or to side with the person that they perceive is the victim. This current debacle is a sorry one because it's like a lawyer who is representing a client shouldn't be so worked up as to be claiming the injustice that has been done to his client, assuming that that's what it is. Because that's the story. There are families that are contending over land. Lagos family have always been contending over land. They've always been fighting over land. Very litigious. Okay? And so you are a lawyer that is hired to do your job. If you do your job and you feel that you've been cheated, you will pursue that matter. But since this is the path that is chosen, there are consequences to everything that we do or we do not do.
All right.
The case,
All right.
since in court, I've told you, I cannot discuss the nitty-gritty of it. I cannot say this is why they are doing this. This is why they are doing that. I won't go that far. All I have told us this evening is that these provisions are in the law to the unenlightened and the ignorant and the rabble-rousing who are saying that no, all these people there is there. The fact that you are not ignorantia facti excusat. Ignorantia jure.
We've got to go, Mr.
Non excusat.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm giving you that because I know that you soon be an initiate of the law fraternity.
We've got to go. But quickly, is criminal libel a valid law in Ekiti State? Just a state one. Is criminal libel a valid law in Lagos State?
It is not.
No, it's libel criminal in Lagos State.
It's not because they've sanitized the law. They reformed the law in those two states.
In Ekiti State.
And Edo State.
All right.
And it is good. But in Ekiti State, I don't know what the status is. But I reckon that charging against the Criminal Code Act, Criminal Code, the federal legislation.
So guys, you can see what's happening